Hello. This is our chocolate weekend, and we are Geeks Assembled. Lee and I are here to entertain you because this weekend we are talking about chocolate in Wonka form, in Hershey form, in Reese form. But let you know that this podcast we are studying is "Have I Got a Chocolate Bar for You?" and it's about someone who smells a lot like chocolate and the addiction process and all of that good stuff. And I just think that I would like to know. Ray Bradbury made a bunch of these short stories, novellas. This one was one, and uh, yeah, I was trying to find sort of a bunch of his material to have that we could review because he was such a prolific writer, and there were a lot of different things that he covered. And anybody who is a fan of his novels will enjoy this one because it comes in an outer space kind of format. What did you what did you think of Have I Got a Chocolate Bar for You? That's the right name, right? I didn't get it wrong again.
Yeah, have I got a chocolate bar for you? Yeah.
Have I got a chocolate bar for you? Yeah.
Um, it appeared in a collection of short stories in 1976. This radio adaptation by the BBC was broadcast in the mid 1990s.
Hmm.
Um, and it's only on for what 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's
So
not
it's not a long drama. There's only two characters in it: the priest and the guy who's doing the confession. Um, it's a strange one because this comes from the BBC series, which was called Ray Bradbury's Tales of Terror.
uh-huh.
No, no, Tales of the Bizarre. That was it. Tales of the Bizarre.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um, and he introduced every episode in this radio series. Did Ray Bradbury, and it's great to have him introduce each story. And
Mhm.
he introduces this one where he mentions he got the idea from Chuck Jones, the cartoonist, um, and then it leads into the drama. But I don't know in this where the bizarre comes because I didn't find it very bizarre. There was a guy in a confession box talking to an Irish priest, going on about how he's overweight, he loves chocolate, he lives for chocolate.
Uh-huh.
The priest can smell the chocolate on him, and he does this confession, then goes, um, and then he comes back again, does another confession, and then the priest doesn't see him for so many years, is it?
Yeah.
Um, and then he comes back for his final confession, and he tells him he's lost weight and he's slimmed down, and the priest never gets to see him.
Because
But
he always is out the door and down the
um,
steps.
uh, I mean, I can't remember the name of the actor who played the guy who was doing the confessions, but the priest played by T.P. McKenna. Now, T.P. McKenna was a great Irish actor
Hmm.
back in the day. He was in nearly everything back in the 60s and 70s. You mostly remember him from an episode of Doctor Who, uh, The Great Show in the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
He played the captain.
Oh, okay. Oh, right on. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, the devious captain.
The devious
Um,
captain with his or werewolf protege. Yeah.
um, so yeah, so great to hear T.P. McKenna. Um, but yeah,
The young man was played by John Yule, and I don't
the name rings a bell, but I'd have to look him up. Um, yeah, I don't know where the bizarre in this tale comes. But as you say, it's addiction to chocolate, and and the way he's dealing with it. Um, but then the story just sort of finishes with where he leaves a chocolate bar in on the collection tray
Yeah.
for the priest. Um, yeah, it was a good listen, but I don't know. I was a bit dumbfounded why this was a tale of the bizarre. To be honest.
Because the the addiction was like it was like there was something missing out of the priest's life too.
Mm,
Um yeah, I just it was interesting that this was the second story in the weekend that had a priest that had this chocolate deal going on. It was just fun,
spooky. Very spooky.
very spooky, and this okay, this this John Yule was in the Monarch of the Glen. He played Derek, like that the kid, and he was in the Bill and Taggart and stuff. So he was in a few things in the 90s and the early aughts, as you guys say over there. And he was but the the interesting thing was like that his it was like the priest was talking to himself and his own addiction to chocolate, because the it wasn't, it could have been that he wasn't actually speaking with someone. He was just experiencing a little whiff of chocolate blowing into the confessional, and
Mm.
he was shutting his eyes and drinking it in, and then making up this other character. But then that's what that the creepy thing is, that the last one where he comes in, he doesn't smell like chocolate, but he leaves a chocolate bar. Like he's drawn the reeled the priest in, you know, and the chocolate is right there.
And the priest seems to believe that the chocolate bar was blessed by the Pope.
Uh-huh.
But, but you don't. He doesn't know if that was true or not.
Right.
Um, yeah, it was a nice little piece, a two-hander piece.
Yeah.
I did like the toing and throwing, and the way they talked about chocolate. Like, well, really, at some point they were like lusting over chocolate, wasn't they?
Like a bit like a cocaine, or a bit like yes, yes, a good drink,
Mm.
for an alcoholic, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but as I say, for me, it's sort of
Yeah, like a lust,
it was a lust of the way they talked about it, and where he couldn't give up the chocolate. He loved it so much. If he moved side to side in the confessional box, it would collapse because of his
uh-huh.
weight. But yeah, it was a great listen to. But I say for me, it just the ending just seemed to do nothing,
Yeah,
and that was.
okay.
I think it was a bit of a, I don't know, weird ending to
It
leave it
was.
just to leave it like that.
Uh-huh. Okay, I see your point.
But I did enjoy it. As I say, it was a good two-hander with the two great actors.
And uh your thoughts on TP McKenna, you know, what what a way that he had of like making things, uh of drawing you into his schemes. I
He
mean,
was
that was
vocal,
like
yeah,
you could see it in his face and
yeah,
greatest show in the galaxy, but also like you could hear it in his voice that
vocally he could because of his Irish um, accent.
Mhm.
He he didn't have a strong Irish accent, but it was there,
Mm.
and he knew how to draw you in just by telling you a story like he did here. Um, I mean, it wasn't Ray Bradbury telling the story. He just introduced the
Right,
thing,
right, right, right. Yeah.
and then the priest every now and again came back to modern day and sort of said, "I haven't heard from this guy for so long," and all of a sudden today he turns up. So there was a little narration.
Hmm.
Fine, I'm fine with that.
Because it was only talking about this other person,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was like he was telling the story right to you.
yeah. And
Not
and it,
not not narration then, more like
uh,
exposition.
yeah, your inner thoughts.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and he knew, but just using his voice, TP McKay, he could draw you in,
Mm,
and he did, and he
mm,
does. He's done it many times on TV.
mm,
Sadly, no longer with us.
mm. Right.
So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It just made me, when I was listening to it, I thought I could smell chocolate.
Hmm. It's true. What a weekend. What a weekend. I mean, the the aroma of chocolate that may permeate this YouTube channel all weekend. It was
may may our YouTube channel smell of chocolate forever.
Monica and Ray Bradbury both imbuing their chocolate with addictive possibilities. The other thing I was thinking of is wouldn't it have been weird if this would been some yeah. There's another set of stories that J.R.R. Martin was telling of or right or helping right edit or bring together that was there was a story about a Venusian uh group of people who were addicted to chocolate because they were unable to get it in on Venus, but when part of the slavery, how humanity had enslaved these Venusians was through using chocolate. And I mean, like that was on my playlist this week too. I was like, oh my
You've got
heaven,
you've gone fully chocolate, haven't you?
I can't believe it. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, and then it also begs the question as we uh, prod nose on towards Easter, how do you eat a chocolate bunny? I mean, how do you do that without being completely just wrong? You know what I mean?
Now you just snap its ears off,
What I'm thinking. I don't know.
or you bite its bum.
Yes, that you could do. Anyway, yeah, so and what kind of the payment in chocolate and all of that. So uh we we've talked about the beans, we've talked about the seeds, the cocoa bean. Do you know that in the colonies, sometimes, especially in uh, in certain parts, the people were not allowed to roast their cocoa beans and create chocolate. Uh, that was something that we had to do. Also, do you know that chocolate has in it some sort of chemical that if you eat it, it's like it's kind of like it clicks the same reward section of your brain that a dopamine would, and it will make you feel like you're in love. Also, to do with chocolate, are you aware of the power of chocolate to restore one's mind after a bad drug trip? Did you know that? Anyway, like these are things that have come to me over the years, a little bit of wisdom from my experience with chocolate. Apparently, if your soul gets sucked out by a dementor, it's like really the only thing around that can make you feel back to normal, you know? Uh,
Really?
yeah, if you're in the Potterverse, that's that's true about chocolate. It's like the only thing that can settle your soul when you've been attacked by a dementor.
All right.
Other thing. Oh, in Monty Python, there were a variety of chocolate called a crunchy frog.
What was it?
Perhaps
The other one was Spring Surprise.
spring surprise. Yes. So okay, what other things? Were there any chocolates in that? No. Anyway, I would just encourage you all to have a bite and or a sip of hot chocolate, um, or strangest thing ever. This weekend I found Trader Joe's hot chocolate flavored cream cheese for one's bagel in the morning.
Mm.
I mean, so put that smear and then perhaps a little peanut butter, like dabs of peanut butter in that. Oh my gosh. It's almost as good as you can possibly imagine. Uh oh, what else? Oh, you know what's really fun is when you eat a marshmallow
Yeah.
and you put a chocolate chip in, you squish a chocolate chip inside of it and you pop it in your mouth. That's a really good thing.
Susan, do you know
Mm.
you've gone down the chocolate rabbit hole now?
I have. I am I'm tangentially living through years worth of chocolate ideas. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Bradbury, what?
When I received my gift for Christmas this year, I received a ball of hot chocolate with Grogu on it and inside there were marshmallows. I couldn't believe it. It was the what most wonderful thing in the world.
Oh,
And so yes, to believe in oneself, one must have an occasional bite of chocolate.
hmm.
And everyone should wish Lee a happy birthday. Send him all the chocolates that you want. This week is his birthday.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
will
Well,
be 21
I'll be 21 in a few days' time.
for
Yes.
an unknown number of times. But yes,
Don't,
good.
don't, don't don't send me chocolate because I'm a diabetic.
All right. But send him sugar-free chocolate then.
Uh,
And anyway, happy birthday, mate. Just
oh, thank you. Thank you
yes,
very
yes,
much.
yes.
Appreciated.
Okay. Well, you've drawn me back to the place. What's your final say and score, please?
um, Yeah, as I say, it was only 25 minutes long. A great two-hander drama. I really did enjoy the to-in and fro-in. It was just that the ending for me was just a bit naff. So on that note, I'm going to give it 9 bars of chocolate out of 10.
Yeah,
Just
that,
because the ending just didn't work for me.
oh, okay. Yeah, that's about right. That's a good, that's where that story resides. 9 out of 10. Uh,
Yeah.
9 out of 10 priests who couldn't say no to chocolate. That's really where we're at.
And of course, it
It's
was Ray Bradbury as well.
the
As
priest, yes, the priesthood that can't say no. Um, just so glad that you guys watched this, and um thank you for liking our videos. Thank you for subscribing or following our channel. I think that we may have a different, we'll call it a different name because it is free
yeah,
to
subscribe.
to click the red button.
Yeah.
You can hit that button and it costs you nothing. It's not like hitting the other red button on the other side that says join YouTube TV. Don't do that. Just hit our little red button and hit the bell notification button so that you can enjoy every chocolate flavored uh selection that we have for you
Mm.
this weekend and every weekend, couple a weekend anyhow. And also do be so kind as to join us on our social media: Facebook, X, Insta, Tumblr, channel on YouTube, uh and our weekly podcasts take place at 9 p.m. on Greenwich Mean Time, so you might as well join us and bring your device, your microphone, your camera, and your Zoom, and be over 18, because some of the shit that we talk about is a bunch of adult material. So
Yeah. Not pornographic, but
we're
just
we're not, yeah, just adult, like murders, like,
yeah,
yeah, like like we are not going to involve you if things are really gruesome if you're not over 18. And so that's just the way it goes.
yeah.
Over 18 then. And also because, that 3-year age difference between you and at 18 and Lee at 21, I mean, it's too much to talk about anyway. And I'm just such a geezer, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
And but it's his birthday and he's finally caught up with me again for this year. So
Oh,
I've survived another one. Yay.
hey.
Anyway, do join us again next week, where we'll be probably not speaking about chocolate, but you never can tell.
You never get to. We
No,
don't know what we were talking about because we haven't
who
decided.
knows? Yeah, right. That's right. Anyway, have a great one, and thanks for listening to Audio Heads on Geeks Assembles.
Love it.